Good morning, everybody, and welcome into Undisputed today. We have a packed show, so much unfolding in the sports world. I'm Jen Hale. Good morning, Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp. How are we today?
Good morning, good morning. Well, your guy finally got his wish, huh? Your guy finally got his wish, huh?
Who?
Getting guys fired. 5 games into the season.
We'll talk about that. All I know is we don't need Brandon Cooks. We don't miss Amari Cooper. We got Micah. We are good to go.
Whatever.
Yeah.
How long did you know the trade deadline was November 1st? Like 5, 6 months?
Huh? Yeah. We don't do trade deadlines.
You knew the bar was going to be on this day, and you wait the night before the bar to start cramming. The deadline ran out.
Propaganda.
Exactly.
Misinformation.
Like Jerry talking, you knew he wasn't going to do anything.
Into that NFL trade deadline in just a second, guys. But, man, the biggest headline from yesterday, I think, Steve Nash mutually parting ways with the Nets as head coach after starting the season 2-5. It's a crazy time for this move to come because don't forget, in the offseason, Kevin Durant reportedly requested a trade from Brooklyn, and the ultimatum to Joe Tsai was to choose between him or Nash and GM Sean Marks. So, Shannon, let's start with this one. What percentage of the blame does Steve Nash deserve?
Before I give you a percentage of the blame, can we start with this lie? Steve Nash was fired. Sean Marks calls him into his office. Steve, we're relieving you of your duty. Okay. Is that mutually? It's not like Steve Nash went up to Sean Marks and said, Sean, I'm not getting it done. I really think you should put someone else in it. And he's like, okay, I agree with you. I'm sorry that happened. That's not how it happened.
I don't know that.
You know good.
I don't know that for sure.
You know, Skip, that's what they do. Black coaches never mutually get to part. They were fired.
Okay, well, that's a whole different story.
But anyway, I'm going to give Steve Nash 5% of the blame. The moment Kyrie Irving said, we don't need a coach, this is what he said, October 1st, 2020. We don't need a coach. I think it's also going to change the way we see coaches. I don't really see us having a coach. You know what I mean? KD could be coach. I could be head coach. The moment you stripped him of that, Skip, he had no authority. I feel very comfortable. How dangerous would a lion be if I took out all of his teeth and declawed him? He's not nearly the lion. The moment a player can emasculate and the team does nothing, the ownership, general manager, or even your best player doesn't correct him or doesn't check him, he got no power, Skip. He's rendered mutual.
Did he check them back?
No. Skip, what head coach unless his pop can check a superstar? And Pop got to be careful. Remember, he tried to check Kawhi. What happened? Boop, 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 walked on out the door. So coaches are very, very, especially in the NBA, they're very, very cautious of how they tread lightly. They're always walking on eggshells around superstars. So I can't blame him because Kyrie takes time off. And I'm not saying that the Kyrie didn't have something going on. But, Skip, you don't even tell the head coach, you don't tell management that you're stepping away?
Nope.
Skip, a professional is what you do. A pro is who you are. Now, notice now, Skip, what I said. A professional is what you do. A pro is who you are. I'm listening to KD talk last night. KD don't even seem upset at all. Skip, somebody tell me they lose their job, I might not even know that person. I feel bad. Kevin Durant didn't even seem bad. You know, things like that happen all the time in the NBA. Really? That happened on your watch. Skip Bayless tell me for the last 6 years you've been the best player, and the best player in the NBA got a coach fired on his watch, and you don't feel bad? Damn. The problem is...
Well, he tried to get him fired in the offseason.
You know that?
Thank you.
Of course not.
Yeah.
It took me 5, 6 games to get it done, but I got my wish.
Yep.
Skip, the problem that Steve Nash had, he had 2 exceptional skilled offensive players. Neither one are a leader. You look at Kevin Durant when he's had his most success, Skip, he was in Golden State. And Steph and Clay and Draymond and the culture shielded him. He could just go hoop, as he likes to say.
I'll agree with that.
Kyrie Irving, he had his most success in Cleveland. LeBron James was a de facto leader.
I agree.
He goes to Boston. He tries to lead, it falls apart. The moment he leaves, they go to the Eastern Conference Finals. Now he's gone, several years removed, they're back in the NBA Finals.
Okay, but I will say quickly about Kyrie. He has a dominating personality and will.
Yeah.
But it's solo. It's not to lead the locker room. It's just all about Kyrie.
Of course. Okay. Skip, and what should have happened, and KD's like, well, I don't want to be the leader, but you're the best player. Sometimes it requires you to check a teammate, to say this is not the way to do it. Man, I can't tell Kyrie, a grown man, it's not my job to do this. It's not my job to do it. But as a leader, it is. And that's why you haven't had success. In OKC, he wasn't the leader. Russ was the leader. Russ was the leader.
That's because management made Russ the leader, because management loved Russ to a fault.
Yeah, but KD doesn't want to lead. He doesn't want that responsibility. The responsibility that comes along with being a leader. Because guess what? Leaders are going to get blamed. Kevin Durant has been able to escape blame his entire career. Why? Because he had Russ in OKC. Now he got Kyrie. We blame Kyrie for the shortcomings of Kevin Durant in Brooklyn. We blame OKC for his shortcomings in OKC. So Kevin Durant for 14, 15 years has been able to escape blame.
Well, wait a second. Why did Kevin Durant go to Brooklyn in the first place?
Skip.
Because his best friend Kyrie said, let's go to Brooklyn. Remember that All-Star game? Yeah. We got two maxes. Yes. Two maxes.
Yes.
Let's go there.
Skip. But like you said, he got a scapegoat. When it doesn't go well, who we blame? Kyrie didn't get vaccinated. Kyrie is a conspiracy theorist. Kevin Durant. What KD doing? Why Kevin Durant don't get...
I don't think he viewed Kyrie as a potential scapegoat. I just think he shrugged and said, yeah, I got 2 rings. Yeah, I'll follow you to Brooklyn.
Even if you don't view him as that, who's getting the blame for what's transpiring in Brooklyn? You have yet to hold Kevin Durant responsible.
Well, who deserves the blame?
See?
Well, here we go again. Who was the focal point of the vaccination crisis last year? It wasn't Kevin Durant.
Last I checked, the best player always shouldered the lion's share of the blame when things went wrong. And when things went good, he got the credit.
Okay.
That's how, but not with Kevin Durant. So I'm only going to give Steve Nash, I got blame Joe Side and I blame Sean Marks because they gave these guys this power. And everybody can't handle power because they use it in an abusive manner. They abuse the power and the privileges that they have. Yep. Kevin Durant did, Kyrie did. And when things got ran amok, Steve Nash bore the brunt of it. Kevin Durant wanted Steve Nash. He wanted him.
He did.
And then turned his back on the man. After the man let him do whatever he wanted to do, let Kyrie do it. They gave the keys to the kingdom to Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. And they ended up locking the man out of his own. They locked the coach out.
Okay. Tell me when you're finished.
5% goes to Steve Nash.
Okay. Is that it?
Yep.
Good. My turn. I'm going to give the Steve Nash situation 75% of the blame, but I don't hold Steve Nash accountable for said situation because help me out here. Did he hire himself?
No.
Did he walk into Sean Marks' office with a gun in his hand and hold it to his head and say,
no,
you must hire me?
No.
Sean Marks chose Steve Nash. Am I correct?
Correct.
That's not Steve Nash's fault, just the way it's not somebody's fault if they get drafted high by a team and they fail.
Correct.
Well, they didn't draft themselves.
Correct.
That team chose them.
Right.
Sean Marks made the ultimate blunder by hiring Steve Nash and subjecting him to the chaos that was about to ensue in that locker room. I've been around Steve Nash enough to know over the years, just covering the teams that he played for, to tell you he is a truly nice human being. Way too nice for the job that he was entrusted to uphold.
Okay.
Nice to a fault. He was the leader of those Phoenix teams that never won a championship, but he won back-to-back MVPs. I didn't think he deserved the second one, but the point is, he did do that.
He got them.
Back-to-back MVPs. It's hard to do at about, he's listed 6'3".
What do you mean, 6'1"? 6'2", maybe?
Maybe 6'2", maybe. But the point is, it's hard to do, and he did that. But it was a while back, and I think Kyrie had little to no respect for the fact that this man, as a point guard, as a distributor and an orchestrator of 7 seconds or less offense under Mike D'Antoni in Phoenix, won back-to-back MVPs. I think Kyrie shrugged and said, and here we went. And Steve Nash let them run over him from day one. The day, I think it was on Kevin's podcast, that Kyrie said, we don't really need a coach, which you just read. From that moment forward, that's when Steve Nash should have stepped up the very next day and said, I beg to differ. They need a coach because I am the coach, and what I say is going to go with this basketball team. But he did not do that. He just let it lay, and he let it fester and grow, and it took on a life of its own.
But here's the thing, though, Skip. what professional would utter those words? No matter what you think of him, you
I
might
agree.
say that.